Hi, this is Mr. Mitchell, and today I'll be showing you how to create a picture using 1-point perspective. Before we begin, though, I'd like to explain what perspective is in a nutshell. Perspective, there's three main types of perspective. There's 1-point perspective for things that are in front of you, and then there's 2-point perspective, which convey things at a corner. And then there's 3-point perspective, which conveys either an aerial view or a worm's eye view. So we're doing 1-point perspective, and what perspective is used for in drawings is it gives an illusion of depth inside of a 2D picture plane, because we know 2D is flat, and so our drawings, to make them more interesting, we must give them the illusion that they go back in space. And so that's what perspective is good for. Now, 1-point perspective, this is a thumbnail, and so a 1-point perspective, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you always have your horizon line and that you always want to make sure you have your vanishing point on the thumbnail. So, and you want to keep it in the middle. You can keep your horizon line. This is the horizon line. This is where our eye level is. Okay, so if we had a person looking at the scene right now, then they're going to be looking, their eyes are going to be on this level here. So it doesn't matter how far back they are in space, their eyes are all going to meet up at that level there. Okay. Anyway, 1-point perspective, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have your vanishing point in that thumbnail, and you want to make sure that it's high or low, but keep it central, because if you start moving it around, then you're going to start finding yourself in going over to 2-point perspective, and that's not on this tutorial here. That will be on another one. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to go ahead and draw the horizon line, and I'm going to go for it for real this time. Do the horizon line, and then I'm going to do the vanishing point. The vanishing point is where all the lines that you use in the scene they're going to recede to and from that vanishing point. So here we go. I'm going to we would normally use a ruler for this, but I find rulers to be, for thumbnails, I kind of find that to be overkill. So long as you're keeping your lines fairly straight and fairly well visualized, then you'll get the result you're looking for. I'm not so particular when it comes to thumbnails. Thumbnails are to get an idea of what it is that you want to convey in the scene, and so that's where my mind is at. All right, so there we go. We have our horizon line, we have our vanishing point, then we have all the lines that are going to and from that vanishing point. Next, what I like to do is, let's say we're going to do let's say we're going to do a hallway. So what I like to do is I like to create the end of the hallway. So I'll use this rectangle. And then next what I do is, I will make sure that my lines, they're going out of the corner, so that at the end of the rectangle there. So, it'll give the illusion of space. And again, as long as you have an idea of where, an idea of where things are being put, then you shouldn't need a ruler at this point. Next, what I want to do is I want to, I do this. I like to put lines that show the surface. Like, is it, what's the surface doing? And they're flat. So usually these lines right here that I put, they are indications to, others that this is a flat surface. Okay. So next what I want to do is let's say I want to create a hallway somewhere, or a corridor. So I'm going to put 2 vertical lines in there, and where the corner meets the floor, I'm going to use horizontal lines. Now these lines must be straight. They must try, I mean, straight enough to where you understand that they're not, slumped up, like if you create a line like that, well, what you're telling me is that there's something against this wall that is leaning against it, and we don't want that. So not, well, at least not for the purpose of what we're doing here. But as you can see here, I created a corridor, and I can clean that up. And there we go. We have a corridor in the ground. So we can cut that out. Next, I want to create a door. I will create, the first side of the door over here. And I would create the other side, vertical lines. And then I'm going to take my line that goes from the vanishing point, and I'm going to draw to the top of here and connect the vertical lines that I use for the doors sides. And then I can put like a little doorknob on there. Clean this up so we can clean as we go, so we can get a clean image so you can have an idea of what's going on here. Let's say I want to create something off of the wall here, maybe in like a set of lockers or something. Well, then I got to think about the base of the object. So I'm going to use horizontal lines, and I'm going to create a line that goes to and from the vanishing point again. Okay, this will create the base of the object, of the lockers. Next, I want to use vertical lines on each side to create the corners. Now, anything that is below this line here, anything that's below the horizon line, we're going to see the top of it. Anything that's above it, we're going to see the bottom of the object. So in this case, these are lockers, so we won't see the top part of the object here. So we're going to go ahead and fill that in. This right here, the side of it, we're just going to use horizontal line to finish it off. And then I'm going to clean out the shape, or the volume, whatever, the 3D object and the lockers, whatever. And we're going to kind of clean it up. Maybe I want doors on these lockers, so I'm going to use vertical lines to create these doors. And we can go further with this to show the lines of the lockers if we want to, but I usually, for things like this, for thumbnails, I usually try to put the bare amount of detail. I just want to get my composition down and get my general idea out, so I know what to do with it. So there we have it. We have lockers, we have a door, we have a corridor going here. Okay, let's do lights. Really, the lights are already done for us because we did the vertical and horizontal lines in the beginning, so we can just pick out the shapes from those actual areas that we prepared ahead of time, and we have lights now. Oh, well, I guess there's not much else to put on there. I guess I'll put a box on the, no. Yeah, maybe, no. I think that's it. I'll clean this up a little bit so we can kind of see the overall picture or the idea, the thumbnail sketch, and a little bit of cleanup here. You can see that we have everything in order, and there we go. Okay, now if I were to put a figure in here, then what I want to do is I want to, again, imagine his eyes on that horizon line, and you know, we'll just go from there. We'll create our little figure person, and back here he's a extreme stickman guy, I guess, and we'll give him some eyes. Oops, sorry, I put it in his forehead. We'll give him some eyes, a nose, a mouth, some ears, and this right here was the side of his body, so that's just to show me like where his shadow is going to be. And this was his rib cage, so I can erase this stuff and start putting it on a shirt and whatever. And then back here, maybe I have another person who's peeking around the corner of this locker, but again, their head is on, you know, their eyes are on that horizon line, so it gives a good indicator how to space out your characters. Anyway, I think that does it for 1 point perspective. Recap: you are going to create a rectangle to for your composition. You're going to create a horizon line, and then you're going to put a vanishing point in that horizon line. And again, when you're doing 1 point perspective, your vanishing point should be in the middle, and you know, it can go along the axis, this axis of, you know, this line here. It can go high or low. If you do a low vanishing point, then, if you do a low horizon line, then just remember you're going to be seeing more of the ceiling. If you do a high one, then you're going to be seeing more of the ground. Thanks for watching.